you're just coming in, there's a sign-in sheet up here. If you'd like to sign in, I'd appreciate it.
Excuse me, John. We can't see over there.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
It was blinding us. Yep, that's what they said.
Get your chair.
Well, I couldn't find it, but she has a matter.
Did she show it to you? And where did it show it?
In the master plan, it's not the zoning. Shit, I told her I want documentation of where it is, because I went to the master plan.
They don't.
I just- And then I said, I want to put when this was done and what date. So before 2012, I want to see where it was done. And if they can't give me that, then I'll fight.
Why is the master plan not public then?
It is what
But then,
I can't find Rose Creek from Airport. Rose Creek, that whole area is impressive, that one. But from Airport, from the airport, she's at the airport, and up.
what is your place now?
Master plan, I know they do that. They put commercial back there, so if you want to turn it into something to do with commercial, you can.
Trey got me.
Thanks, very nice to see you.
What we got going on here?
All right, we were waiting on her, so now we're ready. We'd like to start it. Okay. Again, if you're just coming in, there's a sign-in sheet up here. You can sign in, please. Appreciate it. Okay. I'd like to call to order the Thursday, September 12th, 2024 meeting of the Regional Planning Commission. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so on the agenda, section 1, item B, we're going to move to the public comment section. For the audience, public comment is designated for discussion only. The public has the opportunity to address the commission on any matter not appearing on this agenda. However, no action may be taken on a matter raised until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Is there anyone in the audience who has a comment that you would like to make that relates to something that is not on the agenda at this time? Okay, so seeing none, we will move.
We have
Okay. If you will just come out to the microphone and state your name for the record, I appreciate it.
Running the mic down a little bit. Okay. My name is Deborah Gay, and I'm here about the amendment to the master plan. I know I can't talk about what I want to talk about.
We can't hear you.
So anyway, I'm here for the master plan amendment, and I know that what I have to say will not go on the record because it has nothing to do with, I guess, what you guys are talking about. Anyway, I had a letter from a lady, you all have it, I gave it to you. Please read it. Part of it does talk about the master plan. She did add a couple other things that you can disregard, but her letter is a good letter. I know you guys know about the crossroads thing that's coming in here. It's gonna go out on that property, and he's just making his property available and making it commercial so that they can pretty much get it zoned the way the company wants it, and then sell it to them, and then we're all screwed, pretty much. And, I live right next door. I'm not happy with this because it's gonna affect the water, it's gonna affect the ground, it's gonna affect the air. We have a lot of things that it's gonna affect. The company that's doing this got a $33 million abatement awarded from the governor because of Michelle Hammond. She went out of her way to go help these people get a $33 million credit so they can come in and do what they please with that property. It saddens me that there's nowhere we can go to have our local commissioners or anybody work with us. We get this 3-minute comment and then disregard it. It's pretty sad. I'm gonna try to get an audit going. I can't sit back and allow this county to go to shit. I'm sorry, I'm upset. We've got lithium coming in here, and you already know what they're gonna do. And you've got this Crossroads company. They say they're not gonna use chemicals. Man, oh man, are they gonna use some chemicals? I'm sorry. They're gonna treat the water that they're gonna pump back down to 100 foot, which is gonna contaminate our wells. I don't know. I am so saddened by what I see in this county. I just, nobody wants to listen. It's like we're on our own. We don't work for we the people anymore. The people out here are not being heard. It's like the county works for the big businesses that are coming in here. They don't care about the people that they're dealing with. They want the money. And how are they gonna get the money to keep this county running? They'll do anything for it, and this is what is happening. So they would rather.
Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate you coming up and letting us hear your concerns. Just for the audience, we don't have anything on our agenda tonight that relates to.
Yeah, but it is public
or
comment.
Zoning, but it is public comment. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to make a comment about tonight?
About the paper company?
So this is the public comment part of our meeting. You can address us on any issue, but we are, unless it's an agenda item that's gonna be coming up, we prefer that you address that during the agenda part of our meeting. But if you have something that is not on the agenda that you would like to say, you're welcome to come up. Okay, if you just state your name for the record, appreciate it.
My name is Brian Gray. I am I'm going to read this to you, a request for a pause. Environmental impact. I urge you to halt any changes to the master plan until an independent, agreed upon external entity can thoroughly review the environmental impact. This project, like any industrial venture, could alter our environment in ways that might not be immediately apparent. Infrastructure review. We need a comprehensive analysis our infrastructure to understand how these changes will affect us in the future. This includes water usage, which is critical for our agricultural community. Tax abatement. The decision to grant Crossroads Paper a $33 million tax abatement without public input is concerning. This process lacks transparency and community representation. Lack of representation. The people of Winnemucca deserve a voice in decisions that affect our community's future. Hidden deals and NDAs signed by local governments need scrutiny and audit. Master plan and agricultural identity is outdated plan. Since the last update in 2010, our community has seen significant growth in small farms and housing. Any changes should reflect these realities. not just accommodate industrial projects. Preserving agriculture, our town's identity is overwhelmingly agricultural. Changes that favor industrial projects over agricultural could fundamentally alter our way of life, turning our community into what I fear might become a big city trash can. Call for action, independent review. Let's allocate funds for an independent review to ensure that any development, including Crossroads paper, truly benefits we the people and not just corporate interests. Community input, decisions like these should not be made in back rooms. We need open public forums where every citizen can voice their concerns and hope for the community's future. I trust the regional planning and commissioners will consider the will of the people to maintain our town's agricultural essence.
Thank you. Again, for the audience, we don't have anything on our agenda tonight that relates to Crossroads paper. Is there anyone else who wishes to come up?
Hello, my name's Kurt Johnson. I apologize for not having anything prepared. But putting water back into the ground in that manner is essentially fracking. Over time, as history has shown in states like Oklahoma, fracking, the ground will move, essentially. And unless everybody has earthquake insurance, which some insurance companies won't cover since it's man-made, the earth will move, earthquakes will happen, foundations will be broken. On that as well, putting the trust in a company to say that all of the water being pumped back into the ground is clean, it might be for a while, the machines break, accidents happen, and eventually the water isn't clean any longer. And it will affect everything in this room. That's all I say.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to comment? Please state your name for the record.
My name's Daniel Gay, and I keep hearing you say that this isn't for about Crossroads paper project. I keep hearing it out of your mouth personally.
Yes, it
And
is.
it's not.
It-
Because everybody in this room knows where the Crossroads paper project is gonna go. It's been in the works for a while. This is a mere formality for him to go from commercial to industrial. We all know it. I don't know why you think we're all stupid out here. This is what it's all about. And you're just sitting there, oh no, it's not. But we're not stupid out here, and it's time for you guys to start listening to us and get past what you're doing.
I'm sorry, I never meant to give you the impression that I felt like that about you. As a
You're saying this to the whole room. This isn't about Crossroads paper project. Everybody in this room knows who's gonna buy the property.
As a
He's
board-
setting it all up to buy. We're not stupid.
As a board, we can only
I know.
address the application.
Common sense has got to hit the table sometime, and it's time for all you guys to get some common sense and realize what these big people are doing to our town. Look at it. This is our water. Our grandchildren live here. My whole family lives here. You have a real big chance of contaminating the water, and I won't stand for it. And you guys will all be held accountable, each and every one of you that agrees upon this. That I promise you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board at this time? Will you state your name for the record? You need to speak into the microphone, please. Bring it closer to you.
I'm Hewitt Warrens, and I've been here for 20 years. My family started on the East Coast in 1695, and we came out here partly for freedom, but we came out here because of clean water, and we should not be pumping effluent into the ground where we get our water, and this is an agricultural. And this company produces tons and tons that will be going into our landfill, besides all the, how many gallons that are pumped back into our aquifer, and it's not gonna be, you know, there's gonna be something in there. I mean, the process should be looked at very carefully. And if it's gonna be done, it shouldn't be here. It should be out in the desert, farther away. So I would suggest that we use common sense and turn this down, because it's a farmer who wants to make a bunch of money, and he's not gonna live here. And I got, just yesterday, my 7th grandchild was born. I was there, and I've got 5 grandchildren and one a girl, granddaughter, and now we've got another granddaughter, and they live right here. So I think for the best thing is to tell this company to pick another spot, because it's common sense. That's about all I have to say. You know, everybody knows our water. We need our water, and we have to protect our water, not just for the short term, but for the long term. So I would suggest that this company be introduced to another avenue that they should look at. It's not going to be good for our community. It'll be good for the farmer. And we got to think about everybody in that whole area. And there's different aquifers that are joined, and that could be a bad thing for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to comment? Again, please realize that the agenda item before the board is a master plan change. This has nothing to do with Crossroads paper, so we have a private landowner who would like to have the master plan change for his property.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for being here and for listening to us. My name is Robin Kershaw. I live on Herschel Road, not far from this ranch, and I love the ranch. I just am hoping that all of you, as well as our commissioners, do their due diligence on approving and or disapproving master plans and whatever, because we need you to care. We need you to care about Winnemucca. I'm not saying I don't want to see Winnemucca prosper, but like everyone else, we think there should be another place for it in between Causeway or and Battle Mountain. They have that whole industrial area that adds close to the railroad tracks. They're not interfering with anyone else's livelihood or water, and water is the age-old war, of course. But I do know that there are homes above the turf farm that have lost their water because of the overuse of certain areas. So I think that our environment is diversified as much as it can be diversified. And I don't think, I just really am begging you to all care about this, because this step is just one of the steps of many to get this thing to go through. Is it zone M3? M3, which is what, mild residential or something?
Yes, but you know, we'll discuss that when we get to that point in our
Okay.
agenda, so.
Okay, so I'm a mild residential person, and I would like to keep it that way. Like I said, I'm not against Winnemucca growing, but I don't think that putting in a toxic waste environment is gonna be a fit for us. So we have like Cosgrave is another area, just thinking out of the box. I appreciate you listening to me, not keeping me out of the chair.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to come up and make a comment at this time? Hi.
My name is Joanne Lavelle, and I just want to thank you guys, because I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. You do something that, you know, you get angry moms. But as you think about making the zoning change, we need air, we need water. It's essential for life, and
So this isn't a zone change.
oh, okay.
This is
master plan,
this is just the
sorry, master
plan
plan
in
change,
that
but
area, right.
air and water is what is relevant, and just kind of keep that in mind as we grow. We want to grow safely and healthy and in a good way. We don't want to become a stagnant cesspool. And so it's important for our little town, because we have a great little town.
And I think we would all agree with you on that, so thank you. Anyone else in the audience who'd like to make a comment? If not, we are going to go ahead to item C here. This is the review, correction, and approval of the minutes of the August 14th, 2024 meeting for discussion and possible action. Has everyone on the board had a chance to review the minutes? Everyone has? There was only one item, Betty, it was item B. It said Vice Chair Gray called for public comment. I actually wasn't at that meeting, so it was probably Lindsay that should be under B. Or minutes. Yep. Yeah. Can we still vote on those if there's a change? Okay.
It's the first page, so you can see center page.
Okay. All right. That's good. So if there's no comment or other changes, I'll take a motion on the minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve our minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? And then I'm going to abstain as I was not at the meeting. Item D, the request for postponement of agenda items. Betty, if you have any request for postponement?
I received that.
None? All right, thank you. All right, section 2, our public hearing section, item A. Let's see, this is UW-24-01. This is a special use permit application submitted by Seth Saunders with Yesco Outdoor Media to allow placement of 2 outdoor advertising structures. Such structures will be on a 4-foot circumference pole that will be 50 feet tall with 2 advertising faces measuring 14 feet by 48 feet. Subject property is located at 400 West First Street, a leased portion of the assessor's parcel number 15-0132-18, adjacent to I-80 for discussion and possible action. Betty, does anyone on the board have any questions for Betty?
If I may,
Yes.
make a comment. So this was approved by the planning commission in 2022, and the construction never started on the billboard, so, and an extension was not requested, so Mr. Saunders is just coming back before the board asking the same thing that was approved in 2022.
Okay, thank you. We can see we have Mr. Saunders here joining us on the computer. So you're present, Mr. Saunders. Would you like to address the board or anything in relation to your application?
I just first off want to say that I appreciate what you guys do as commissioners. I think that you have a tough job. It's a job where you just can't make everyone happy. And my dad's been part of local government for years now, and so I think it's a thankless job. But yeah, like Betty said, it's simply what has already been approved. We just dropped the ball on applying for an extension, and are hoping to be able to continue with this project. So, and lastly, I'd love to be able to answer any questions or concerns or anything that might come up throughout the meeting. But thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the applicant related to this item on our agenda? back to the board. Does anyone have any questions or comments? How does your lighting on your signs face, Seth? So it looks like it's a two-sided billboard, so.
Yes, it is, yeah. So, lighting has over the years, been one of our industry's biggest, concern from local governments, and so we've continued to work on lighting, but recently we've started, as it's continued to improve, we've been able to develop what are called light shields. So I don't know, the best way to describe it is, I don't know if you've seen one of those LED flashlights where you can kind of adjust the beam, and so you can make the beam either narrower or wider. And we've gotten really good at adjusting our lighting so that it's only facing the sign and it doesn't spill onto neighboring properties or parcels. So that has helped a lot of people with the concern of lighting, as well as we're not like some other companies, we do turn off our lights so that they're not on all night.
Thank you. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions?
Is this set on the head east or head west?
So right behind looks like Scott Shady Court right there, so there'll be two, so, yeah.
One with each way.
Well, I think, so both, yeah, so which direction will the sign be facing? Because it looks like you can put a billboard on one side and a billboard on the other side of the one sign, and there's going to be two signs.
There will be advertisements facing both directions of traffic on all structures. So you'll be able to, there will be an advertisement on, you'll be able to see it coming both ways. And that, in my opinion, looks the best for the community. Further east, you'll see some billboards that only have advertising on one side, and the back side of it looks not very clean. So we feel that looks the best.
Yeah, actually, that's good. All right, any other questions for Mr. Saunders? No? All right, if not, I'll take a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion for staff recommendation on staff report UW-2401, that we recommend approval of the special use permit based on it would have no adverse effects on the proposed activity and no adverse effects on the abutting properties or permitted use.
Okay, all those in favor? Say aye.
Yes, second. You have a
Oh,
second?
yes, we need a second, please.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion passes. All right, we will move on to item B. This is MP-24-02, the master plan amendment submitted by Miguel Esquivel as owner of Dinero Ranch LLC to amend the medium-density residential plan designation to a commercial master plan designation on the property located off Rose Creek Road, assessor parcel numbers 05-0803-04 and 05, 13-0193-02 and 14-0011-02 and 03 for discussion and possible action. Does anyone have any questions for Betty before we get started?
No, I guess I would just, what I'm noticing looking at the map going forward, that everything basically to the right and above the properties that this person's requesting is already zone master or
Commercial plan, commercial, yeah.
Okay, so then going forward, it's just a couple that are kind of in the midsection of that are zoned, NDR.
Yeah, thank you for this, thank you for the map. So, does everybody have a copy of this map? So,
Up here.
okay, so if there are any copies and you want a copy of the map, just please come up. I think this is helpful to be able to see this.
You might have to share with
Yeah, and it doesn't look like the applicant is present. public comment on this agenda item. If there's anybody who'd like to come up and address the board specifically on this item, now's the time for you to come up. If you'll just state your name for the record, I appreciate it.
I'm Tom Haas. I am a resident of Rose Creek Road. The question I have is, I went in to change some stuff on Rose Creek Road a bit ago, and I was told that there is no commercial. So how come we're having commercial on Rose Creek Road?
You were told there's no commercial zoning. This is the master plan. It's not zoning.
So I could have came in and asked for a change in master plan when I already had commercial.
I believe your master plan is industrial on the property that you're referring to.
The one I'm referring to is 5880, and it was commercial. But you're across the street.
The use permit on?
Excuse me?
Is it the one you got the use permit on?
Yes.
It's master plan industrial.
So it is now master plan. How do we
It
get,
has-
how do
it
we
has
get a
been
full
master-
copy?
It has been master plan industrial for quite some, since 1999 when they, did the master plan that's in effect right now.
So it's commercial.
That
I know,
was right-
it's a
right
master
referring
plan.
to the zone.
How do I get a master plan complete from Winnemucca Boulevard all the way to the Rose Creek interchange? Have you got that
I
done?
can probably see if the GIS tech can bring you off one or send you one.
Is it done?
Pardon?
Is it done completely?
We do have a master plan map, yes, that covers that area.
Okay, so this is, you know, this commercial that you're asking for here is on the master plan right now.
Yep. Not the one that they're requesting on this map.
No, I understand that.
These are currently master plan commercial.
So what's the difference between the commercial water uses and the MDR? Or, yeah, it's 80 density. How does that work?
The what uses?
The water uses?
I don't know, we don't deal with water uses. MDR is typically for a residential area.
And that's what this master plan is right now?
It's MDR, correct?
Yes.
And the properties are zoned A5. The properties are currently zoned M3, two zoned A5, and one zoned R1.5.
So are we changing all of this to commercial, or are you leaving ag in and?
The zoning is not changing, the
Okay.
master plan is changing.
Okay.
Definitely.
For that one piece of property?
No, for 5 pieces. 5 pieces, 4 parcels.
So is this the person that was advertised for in the paper?
There was a public hearing notification in the paper, yes.
Yes, but it wasn't for this man.
Yes, it was.
Isabel Road. Escabel versus Escabel, that's what's in the paper.
Well, the legal description is in there and the parcel numbers are in there. The legal description is that we refer to the parcel numbers.
One of the reasons I'm here tonight is that I could not make heads or tails of what you want to do here. Map I had, and it was just showing one property, and now you're telling me that it's all 5 properties. So,
I don't know what you were looking at the notification in the paper, should all 5 parcel numbers.
yes, and the way it was written, I couldn't tell the difference. Okay.
They were 5 different parcels.
Yes, I know that, and some of them were changed.
2 were changed because they did their boundaries on the trust.
So you did all that, just on that.
No, they did a boundary line adjustment for the properties to separate the railroad so that there were 2 separate. They changed the boundaries on it. And those that they changed the boundaries are included in this master plan.
So Mr. Haas, we're gonna keep our public comments even during this section of the meeting to 3 minutes, so I appreciate you coming up and.
Would you do one more favor for me?
Yes.
I know most of you here, but I don't believe there's very many in the office, in the audience that do. Could you have your people state their name for us, please? And we can't hardly hear you back there, so.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, go ahead, Herb, you wanna start?
My name is Herb Ross, and I'm the operation manager at Winnemucca Casino here in Winnemucca.
Lindsay Jimenez, Deborah Gray,
Brent Lang?
Thank you.
is there anyone else who'd like to come up and address the board?
Hi, my name's Deborah Gay. Before you guys agree to make this change, I would like to get an environmental impact study on it. I think we need to do more input on this. I don't understand why he's not doing all his property, why he's just doing these 5 lots. Well, we all know why, but anyway, there's no reason why he would only want a couple lots done. If he wants to do this and he wants his property to be in for the actual purpose that he's stating, why isn't he doing all of it?
It looks like all the property around him is already zoned that way.
No, not.
And there's our master plan that way, so like all those that we have.
I looked at the map, none of this stuff over there is commercial at all.
So we have a map that we've passed around that shows the things, the properties surrounding these parcels that is already zoned commercial. It's not zoned, I'm sorry, it gets a little confusing between zoning and the master plan. So that is already master plan commercial and those properties that are not. So I think this map is really helpful. Mr. Esquivel in his application stated that his proposed change is in order to help align the master plan to anticipated commercial development in
He
the
has
area.
14 property, he has 14 lots out there. He has a ton of lots out there. If he was doing this to align with the master plan, don't you think he'd be doing all of them that way? To align?
I'm sorry. So the ones that are master planned commercial are along Rose Creek Road.
How far along?
And there are 4 parcels to the north of his properties that are master planned commercial. He's not gonna master plan properties behind these parcels to commercial.
I know.
You're gonna have your commercial master plan here on Main Road.
She just said these to the north of the property.
So you're doing the ones on Herschel Road right
No,
now?
we're doing them on Rose Creek Road.
You're doing one,
That's on Rose Creek.
and that's on Rose Creek.
Correct.
So you're only doing the lots. I thought you wanted to make those all commercial in that area.
Along Rose Creek Road,
Oh, so you did along.
which is how master plans typically go, where you have a major roadway. Which is why when they did the master plan for 1999, these
Like
were
I
all
told-
master plan.
Like I told you in your office, if that's what you guys wanted to do, is to make this commercial industrial all up and down Rose Creek Road, you should not have allowed people to move in and turn in. So now what the issue we have is that you're gonna allow these people to make this commercial in your master plan, so when they come in and wanna change it to commercial or industry, they can get right in there and do that. So then my next door neighbor or the guy down the street on Rose Creek Road, his property, his home, his animals, his stuff, right next door to him become an industrial building. Because this is what you guys have done. You should have stopped the residents from moving in on Rose Creek. If you wanted to turn that whole thing into an industrial zone, like I've heard from everyone, that whole road they wanted to turn into industrial all the way to the airport. But unfortunately, you guys have allowed all those people to move in. Now you're gonna allow this man to change these properties into commercial. And we're gonna end up with what we end up with, because this is what the master plan was zoned for. Instead of looking at the whole map. And what you've done And these people moved into these places unaware of what is happening here. I'm disappointed with the whole scenario, and I was told, well, you should have looked at the master plan before you bought the property.
Thank you, Debbie. Yeah. Anyone else who'd like to come up and address the board? Please state your name for the record.
Christina Kennison. I'm a resident of Rose Creek Road. I'm pretty concerned, Betty, because I've been in your office quite a bit over the last almost 2 years now. And the master plan, what's made public online, is there's no maps. So I don't even know what the master plan has for my property.
I can tell you can ask, and we have it in our records. And that we do have a map in the office, it is like huge.
And so how is a regular citizen supposed to come in and get an actual full master plan for Humboldt County?
You're not gonna get a great big one, because Humboldt County is huge, so you're gonna get different areas of Humboldt County. for the
So-
master plan house.
Do you know what is all of Rose Creek master plan commercial?
There's some, so the property, some of the properties before Airport Road are master plan industrial.
So I think a lot of us are residents in this area, and like I said, I've been going into the planning department quite a lot. I've looked into a lot. I've researched a lot. I am very confused how the map shows all these residences and where there's homes going in is master plan commercial, but then when the zoning is totally different than the master plan.
Correct.
So why is the master plan so different from zoning? And where does it show a key for the master plan and what each one means?
Benny, you want me to read this?
Yes.
Okay, so let me read something that might make this a little more clear, because the master plan is kind of what overlays on top of then the zoning as you drill down. But this is something from the planning department. It says, what is zoning? A master plan is essentially how land use is envisioned to be used. So the vision of the city, the county, is the master plan. Zoning ordinances are legally enforceable and classify swaths of land according to use, such as residential, agricultural, commercial, or industrial. Zoning ordinances also establish standards of use, which in each zone, in terms of what is permitted outright, what is permitted with conditions, what is permitted as an accessory use to the main use, and what is prohibited. So that kind of breaks down zoning for you, and then the master plan is the vision of the city and the county.
Well, from what I understand, the master plan, for instance, open space element is very much supposed to protect areas of the county and its residents. And that's one of my concerns here with the staff report and the application for this master plan amendment. Where it says, first of all, that agricultural development in the region is water intensive and water conscious commercial development is now possible. So to give you an idea, I went and met with a rancher on Monday in Orovada. And as most of us here know, lithium has been shoved down everybody's throats in this county by our federal government. The ranches are actually disappearing up in Orovada pretty soon. Their water will be shut off and they will become desolate land. We are the #1 agricultural county in Nevada, and we are already being forced to lose these ranches that are the backbone of our county. We get lots of money from taxes from the mines, but we all know, or anybody here who's been here long enough knows, the mines are not stable. The thing that has held Humboldt County together during the hard times has always been the agriculture. It has been the backbone. And to be forced to lose so much of it due to the lithium mining, and now because we have people who are working in economic development who are telling us we need to diversify our economy and do all this, we're gonna go and take out some of the other ranches that have been here, part of Humboldt County, for over 100 years, and we're gonna make them a heavy industrial with all these homes right around them.
Thank you, Christina, so you've reached your 3 minutes, so.
I'm sorry, there were other people talking during my 3 minutes.
She can have my 3
I'm
minutes.
gonna go next, and I'm gonna give Christina my 3 minutes.
She can have mine. I'll give her mine. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll give her
no.
mine.
Sorry, notice on the agenda, you can't share your 3 minutes with other people.
So, again, what we're discussing and what is being said are things that don't relate to the application.
So because I don't agree with you, I can no longer speak.
No, you don't, I haven't.
Well, was I the only one speaking during those 3 minutes?
No, pretty much. You had 5 minutes. You gave me 5 minutes.
Read off of the paper.
Right, but we gave you 5 minutes.
So this is why people get upset and feel like we're not being heard. Because I'm bringing valid legal points to you, and you don't want to hear it.
This-
Because you know that you don't want to hear
No, but the item in front of the board doesn't involve lithium, okay, it doesn't.
it. But it involves turning agriculture into commercial.
We're discussing a master. plan.
You're also
Which is
discussing,
the vision of the
excuse
county and
me,
the city.
that also is an open space element area. Did you know there's a creek that runs through all the water that goes for that agriculture? What's gonna happen if that gets changed to commercial?
It'll turn into a floodplain.
So this is also an area that is right between Interstate 80 and a railroad. We've got the old state highway road.
It seems like you all decided how to vote before any of us even spoke.
No, I'm just stating that, you know, this is an area that's also surrounded by land.
And when the homes get flooded out because heavy industrial came into a residential area?
We're not even addressing anything that has to do
No,
with.
so far the
heavy
master plan
industrial.
doesn't even make sense. And it's been hidden from the public, it has not been made public.
It's not hidden, it's in my.
It is, I have been in your office, how many times, Betty, the last 2 years? How many times have I talked to you about the zoning and everything and master plan?
You never talked to me about the master plan.
Christina, I
If
think
you
there's
ask
other
me
people
questions,
in the audience that would like to come up. Would you please state your name for the record?
Okay, we got brought up, my name is Jonathan Kinnison, what she talked about is Rose Creek Canyon. It's grandfathered in as, agricultural water, the ranch. Basically you have to see that the water board, you can't find out what's with this, it's in Winnemucca County, it's in Pershing County, and it has to do with the state, goes down to the pole, it takes houses out, it flows right past the ranch, it goes, has the culvert, goes under the railroad track right by the house, and it turns into a flood zone, the culvert's already there on the freeway, it takes the creek, is put back in the natural state, and it flows right where the homes are. And if it doesn't go that way, it will take out the railroad tracks, because I lived out there. It's taking out the culvert in Humboldt, and we get lots of water, it will wipe that whole area out. And basically it puts, our county, and whoever's involved in all that, for big lawsuits, because the railroad, if you take out their stuff, if they're liable, they're coming after your town, they got more money than we do. So, when you go change your zoning, make sure you know everything is involved in it.
So again, we're not changing zoning, we're just changing the master plan, which is the vision of the county for that area.
Step number one. If anything goes in that area, there's certain, there'll be property over there where that creek flows. And if it doesn't flow there, you turn the whole thing into floodplain, we'll take the tracks in. Because there's a lot of water, when we get winters, we have a lot of water, it comes down the canyon. I've seen it put holes like you can't believe. There's a lot of water that comes through that canyon, we get a lot, we get a really moist year. And when they start they go and put like a facility on that piece of property, we get lots of water, they use that whole facility to wash it out. And so when they go and put their stuff in, you need to make sure they put it on the right parcels. And you know where that creek flows when they do it. Or, for instance, it comes back to us. People who say, yeah, we can do this, well, let them do all that, and that's, they don't want that.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to address the board? Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Hey, I just have a question. So on this map, everything that's green, and there's a green arrow, you see here, does it go beyond what we're seeing in this scope?
The other parcel is beyond the railroad tracks and this now.
So it's everything from the railroad tracks towards Cape. It doesn't go over the railroad tracks, over, okay. And
There's only one parcel that's beyond the railroad tracks.
what's that?
There's only one parcel, this parcel is on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. And how many acres is that? And how come we can't see
Because
that?
the people that I had to map did not.
Okay. So do you know how many acres
It
total?
is 260.1 acres.
And then
Actually, no, that one is 196.19 acres.
on the other side of the tracks? Okay. And how much is on the other side of the tracks?
260.6 acres.
So there's another 190 some acres on the other side,
Where the, I believe.
past DeGiorgio and that area.
No, this is all part of Mr. Escobar's property, is in the ranch house.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to come address the board? Would you state your name for the record?
Kim Christopherson. I have not seen the master plan, so I've seen the map, but apparently not everything is on that map. It's like, part of it is
This
beyond
was,
the
this
limits of
was
acreage.
created to help visualize the all these parcels.
But if we went to your office,
The master plan map that I have in my office for the Rose Creek grass valley area is very large.
But the parcels that we're talking about today, is every single one of them on the map?
Except for this one.
Except, okay. So his property has some in the master plan that is already zoned planned, commercial, whatever, and then he's wanting to change the rest of his property to commercial.
To align more consistently with the other properties in the area.
And so the properties that are already zoned commercial are not on Rose Creek? And the ones he's wanting to change is the ones on Rose Creek and the other ones are not?
He doesn't have any parcels that are master plan commercial at this time.
They're just the properties around his properties. that
The
are-
map is showing the properties along Rose Creek Road, they do not belong to him.
Oh, they're not.
That are master plan owned by other people, including the gays, that are master plan commercial.
So when people buy property to build a house, are they informed that this is the master plan from 5 years ago was, well, you're gonna buy this and you're gonna build your home on it, but in the future, we're gonna take it away from you and turn it commercial.
That's not the master plan. Those property, when people build homes, they look at the zoning designation. If the zoning designation allows residents, then they can build a home. So if your property's an egg and 3, or a ranchette, you can put a home on it. We don't look at the master plan when we sign off building permits, or we look at what the zoning is that allows a residential use.
And there's commercial property or like businesses along that way, correct? And kind of.
There are some properties that have more probably going to the east along Rose Creek.
Yeah, I've seen some small business right out there.
And a lot of them have, use permits or they've been there forever, so they're grandfathered in.
And I'm not sure for how long, but I mean, as long as I can remember, there's a sign right there off the interstate that says, you know, Winnemucca, it's the Winnemucca Business Loop, it's airport and industrial loop that just takes you, you know, right off onto Rose Creek Road right there, and that's been there for quite some time.
Industrial loop is the airport. This is Rose Creek Road.
So, yeah. Yeah, okay, is there anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else you'd like to address for it? And again, we're gonna keep these comments to 3 minutes per person, please.
Hello, my name's Dan Thompson. I'm a Rose Creek resident, and I've lived there for over 25 years. And when I built out there, it was for one reason, and that was because it was a rural ranchette with agriculture in my area. And I 100% truly would recommend that this board does not change the zoning on that. That's why people bought out there. That's
And
why
again,
people-
sir, we're not changing the zoning. So this is a master plan
Well,
change.
yeah, I recommend you do not change the master plan. In fact, I looked over the master plan several times before I bought and had my house built there. This is where I want to, this is where I raise my family. This is where I intend to live out my life. And, I just recommend that you do not change it. People that set their sights on their whole life. I was born in Winnemucca, I've been here my whole life. And, so anyhow, I just recommend that it is not changed.
Just for the record, this recommendation would just go to, like, it's not a set in stone, this would go to the county commissioners as far as like a finalized deal.
Yeah, and that is a good point that Lindsay just made. We are just recommending this for approval to the county commission, and that would be the next step. Yeah. You please, yes, state your name for the record, and Steve, we can't hear you, can you just talk into the mic?
Steve Cook, Humboldt County resident. So, here's Mr. Escobar's application for the master plan amendment. Question 3 says, will the proposed change adversely affect public health, safety, and general welfare? And he marked no. Now you explain to me, turning that in with all the residential that you guys allowed to happen. And you took our money, remember that. And now you're telling us that, well, because it is going to affect the general welfare. Keep that in mind.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yeah, and please realize, again, we are just approving a master plan change. We have no idea what Mr. Escobar's plans for that property are.
But that affects the questions in the application.
It's something that not in our realm that would go on to the further, that would have to come to this board, whatever they were gonna do. That would be a whole other.
You just like to state your name for the record.
My question is, you came in here.
We haven't.
Yes, but you said, we are approving. No.
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Yes.
It's all good, I have it on camera.
We're a board, we have to take a vote, we're gonna listen to the comments of the public.
No, you're not.
Yes.
I was already told by Betty that it will be approved because there's nobody here that can state anything about the commercial. We would have to bring.
We're not gonna have people
Oh, well,
If you wanna do.
don't tell me that, because you told me flat out. Yes, you did.
You wanna do public
Yes,
comment,
you did.
come up here and make public comment.
Yes, you did. There's nothing she said.
Maybe that was not your intention. Like I said, if it was approved, in this board, it was me that said it, it would have to go to your county.
Thank you. If approved, this is going to the county commission. Anyone else in the audience that would like to address the board?
My name is Sharon McAllister, and I'm here to support the people in the community where this contention is about. I do have a couple concerns that the area, there's a lot of complaints, and I think they should be listened to. Excuse me, this is the first time coming up here, and I'm a bit nervous. So I was reading a lot about it, and I know that I read about this area, the master plan. It's in the Rose Creek area, I believe that's what you said. Where, I don't know if it's the same thing, or if it's different, where the paper mill is gonna be at, or not. Where it's gonna be built. I don't know if it's the same thing or not.
We have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
Okay.
No idea.
Okay. Well, anyway, from what I've been hearing, it seemed that even though you said it hasn't been approved, but it looks like you're letting it move forward, and of course the commissioner will vote on it, but it seemed to me like it's almost a done deal. Thank you.
No, it's not, but, people who own property, have property rights as well. And so Mr. Escobar has the right to develop his property, as he would like, as long as it, meets the criteria that, is appropriate. Anyone else that would like to address the board at this time?
Madam Chairman, can I just make a statement, please, while you're collecting public comment? It's important, I know it's frustrating, everybody has feelings and is passionate about this, but it's important that if you want to make a comment, that you not scream out over people, because we're trying to record this, and people's names are notated to it, and it's really important for you that we're able to hear that, because that's evidence in the record, should you want to do something like appeal some kind of a decision later. So we need to have a clean record, please.
Okay, do you want to state your name again for the record?
This is Tom Haas. For the record, and I'll just put it on the record, this is the staff report that you gave to the public to look at. Staff recommendations. After much consideration and based upon the above analysis and findings, staff recommends the RPC recommended approval of this request for the master plan amendment from MDR to COMM designation to the Humboldt County Board of Commissioners. One of you said just a bit ago that it's no recommendation.
It's not, it's just a recommendation.
Okay, it is a recommendation. It was done before we ever got here.
That's part of my job, that's part of the recommendation, it's up to them to make the final.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
Hi, my name is Sally Rice. My question to you is, you have the audience of people here that are concerned about this. Why is it that Miguel has not shown up to represent himself?
I do not know the answer to that.
Is that something you can look into and get back to
He's
us?
actually not in this, this is not even in the state of Nevada.
If he wants it changed.
Will he be at some time, or is he just pulling this off?
I don't know. This does go before the county commissioners, so he could appear at that meeting.
Anything else?
No.
Yeah, we don't, I don't know. I'm not sure where he's at.
Could there be an answer to this for the audience that is here, representing themselves, and he's, I'm gonna say, chosen not to be here, to be confronted by these people?
My understanding is he's working out of state.
Well, I think these people, including myself, would like some resolution to everybody coming together and being under one roof in one room to acknowledge and address this issue.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that would
if I'm wrong for saying this, let me know. But we have an audience of people that is so concerned of what McGill is doing. Now, I don't know if I'm out of line, maybe if I'm out of line, you tell me, you help me. If I'm out of line, you tell me.
I will.
You help me. But I feel just like that young lady said, I feel like McGill should be here because these people are concerned about their property out there. And I don't know what he's doing to that property because I really don't understand it. But after the night, I'm going to look into this.
Thank you.
To find out what is he planning on doing. But I think, this is me, that we're going to table this until he comes. Until he comes, I'm going to let him. And please, he has to teach me too, because I don't know. But he has to come and explain to these people what he's doing. They are really concerned about their water rights and the flooding and their property. I mean, they're concerned. And when I came in here and saw all these people, I was like, what in the hell is going on with that? You know, I read what we had, but I didn't quite understand it. But now I do. I'm recommending that we table this till we get in touch with McGill and have him come. Now, you said we have 30 days?
Yeah, within Humboldt County Code 17.71.070, you have 30 days after today's public hearing to have a continued hearing. Failure of the planning commission to make that recommendation to the commissioners within that time frame will constitute a denial.
So Herb, let me kind of try to explain it a bit, and Wendy, you can tell me if I'm looking at this wrong. But this is just a master plan amendment change. This has nothing to do with Miguel selling his property or what his plans are in the future. But all of the property that is, you can see there's property in front of him, property to the side here, that is already master plan. Okay, so it's already master plan.
Y'all already changed your master plan.
Please.
And he would like the same master plan to be assigned to his property. So this property's already master plan commercial, this one's already master plan commercial. He's just asking that his pieces be master plan commercial. So this has nothing to do with zoning or his uses or what he's intending to do with his property. He's just asking that his property, that it reflects the same as these parcels that are around him. That's all this is.
Okay, now, so let me say this here. It has to be something that's going on, or these people wouldn't be here.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that something is going on, or these people wouldn't be here. Now, if I'm out of line, tell me.
No,
For
you're not.
saying this.
I don't think that any of us have an idea of what Miguel is going to do with his property. Until he does something with his property.
No, this is ignorant as shit.
Wow.
Hang on, again, we're recording, and I'm gonna ask somebody to call dispatch, asking you objected, or you're not gonna let us record this meeting, create evidence, so, which is in your best interest, so if you decide to appeal the decision of the commissioners, you have a recording and findings and testimony of all you saying why this is or isn't great, so please, stop speaking over each other.
We had more than 30 minutes. Figured that we had to
Okay, so again, we're discussing this as a board. We've already brought this back. Do I need to bring it back to the floor? I mean, we brought it back to the board, so.
Can I just explain, if this moves forward, that everybody knows, the elephant in the room, they do have to get a conditional use permit. That is the time to come and you say you're not happy with that.
Say it again, baby.
They have to come before this board. They have to apply for a conditional use permit. They have to come to this board for approval of that conditional use permit.
Through you guys? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and they just, yeah.
Which can then be appealed to the board of commissioners. There are
Right,
avenues for
if, say it was approved, you don't agree, you have a certain period of time to appeal that decision to the county commissioners. same right to appeal a denial to the county commissioners. But in that denial, there have to be findings, there has to be proof that this is not a good idea. So, and unfortunately, that's NRS, you have to have findings for this. But this would, if this elephant, they would have to submit an application and it would go in for the.
So where do you
this
think
board.
commercial is going to go for our city and our county? Where do you think it's going to go? So like
This
out-
depends on, I mean, that's when you can come and talk about.
I mean, that's your consideration.
Out by Sanko,
Commercial growth goes out along the interstate and out.
Jungle Road.
We grow and diversify. Yeah, that's where it's gonna go, so I mean,
What about out by
like
Jungo?
Mr. Esquivel is wanting, does he state here? Proposed change will align the master plan to anticipated commercial development in the area, so. Do you know what the property is that you're talking about?
I know, I have an idea where it is.
Yeah.
I live on the Rose Creek area.
Yeah, the Rose Creek Road exit,
Yeah.
the house.
I know somebody that lives up there, so I have an idea.
All right, do we have any other questions? Any questions from any questions of the board? If not, I'm going to ask for a motion. And I guess I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion. I will motion to recommend approval of the master plan amendment request. Application MP-24-02 to the Humboldt County Commission with the following findings pursuant to Humboldt County Code 17.71. The proposed change is not in conflict with the adopted master plan for the area. The proposed master plan amendment will have no effect on the existing developmental land use pattern in the immediate area, and the proposed master plan amendment will not adversely affect public health, safety, and general welfare.
Yes, it will.
Anybody like to second that motion? So do we have a second or not?
You can also recommend denial and he would have to hear it before the county commissioners.
I agree with her, but I think that we ought to table this until he can clear it.
Are you inclined to make a motion to table this? Are one of you inclined to make a motion to table this item?
I make a motion to table this.
Just put the staff report. Just put the staff report.
For the number.
MP 24-02 master plan amendment submitted by Miguel.
Okay, second that? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Nay, and my findings for tabling this is that I'm in agreement with the findings on the staff report.
She doesn't know.
Just changing the MDR to the comp designation. And again, as I stated in the motion, that I do not feel that this will adversely affect public health, safety, and general welfare, and it's not in conflict with the adopted master plan for the area, and has no effect on the existing developed land use pattern in the immediate area. Okay, so we will table that. Betty, does that come back on the October?
It would be the October 10th. I'll have to look at my calendar. I'm pretty sure I have. I don't know if I have time to print the paper, so I'll look at the weeks. So what happens if it doesn't fall within that 30 days? Recording limit.
We let it begin. This is, if you don't do it within 30 days, it constitutes denial.
There's an amendment to that. Like if we
An
bring it up at our
extension?
meeting, like as an extension to it.
It's 30 days.
30 days, is that what?
Call special meeting.
Yes, you can call a special meeting.
I think that's what we're going to do.
She can be back because I'm going to burn her back.
I would have had to put it in the paper for next Wednesday, and might time this out for that. So we could do the October meeting next week on the 17th, which is not within the 30 days. Or we could do it.
Let's you and I talk about notice, because you have already noticed it in the paper that this is
Yeah, I
gonna
don't
happen.
think I have to do it again.
I don't believe so either.
Because I know I spoke to Kim Marker regarding some changes, and once it's posted, you don't have to redo it, so.
Exactly, you can
We
continue
can
to
just
table.
continue it.
Yeah. And table it as a.
So we don't have to worry about that, so yes, it would be, the October 10th meeting.
And it sounds like the board, my understanding is they would like him here, so will you extend an invite, please, to ask if he needs to be in person? Or by the question, or he has answers we don't have answers to, like. What exactly the intentions are.
So, same with the zone change, they don't have to state, they just, in general, can state for different commercial development. He doesn't have to go into detail.
Okay.
I mean, we've tabled stuff before when we had like the towers for the phone and stuff like that. We tabled stuff before, but we have that person to come and talk to us.
Yep.
We've tabled with that listen mind guy, that lady that came, we tabled it for she can bring her boss in so he can talk to us.
But those were on use permits, so we already know what the use is, to answer your questions. So on zone changes and master plan amendments,
It's different.
they do not have to be specific as to what they want to do. It could be something like a zone change, we had, next time, where people changed it from a single family residential to a multi. So for 2 residences, she was hoping to use it as rental. She doesn't have to, she just says, I want to be able to possibly do this. So with Miguel, it's, I would like to have the opportunity to develop my property commercial. He does not have to be specific as to what his plan is.
Make sure you have some cops in here, these folks are mad.
Okay, so we will go back to section 3, public comment. Are there any members of the public who would like to make a comment at this point about anything that was not already covered on the agenda? Again, we will keep these to 3 minutes, please.
Christina Kennison, I would like on the record, please, that Delmer Gray is married to Patrick Gray, a local realtor, and I believe that there is a conflict of interest, seeing that he has been working with Miguel on the property and the sale of the property.
So I do not feel like I have the need to recuse myself on an item like this.
You did not make note of it to any of us.
So my husband deals with a lot of people in his role as the chairman of the Humboldt County Economic Development Commission and as a broker at Century 21. Okay, so
He's also in the Humboldt Development.
That's what I said, yes. Yes. So I am a 5th generation Winnemuccan and have a lot. I care about this community and the people that live in this community. I'm a business owner. I care about the growth in this community, economic diversity.
What business do you own?
I own Rehab Services of Nevada.
Okay. And your husband owns?
My husband owns Century 21 Sonoma Realty.
Yes. And how much would the money come in for the broker and realtor on?
You know what, there is no sale on this property that I'm aware of at this time. This property, Miguel owns this property. This property has not been sold.
So, my name's Jonathan Tennyson. It was Patrick Gray that set up the meeting, my dad. We crosswrote paper to promote the sale of that property. So there you go.
So my husband has dual roles, multiple roles. And again, I feel like as a fair-minded member of the community that I can vote.
I feel everyone here does not feel the same way.
No, you may feel that way, but we didn't know you were related to Century 21. You should not be on the board.
It should have been
anything
disclosed.
With Century 21. 2021 involvement with Escobar.
Century, so again, please know that this is a master plan, a master plan change.
Multi-million-dollar land
That's
deal.
all this is that we're discussing tonight. It's the county's vision
Multi-million
for the
dollar
area.
land deal.
Anybody that's related to anybody that has anything to do with the property should not be on the
We
board.
are not discussing the uses of this property tonight.
Huge conflict of interest. That is.
Okay, anybody else who'd like to come up and
Yeah,
discuss
she
the
ain't
board,
never gonna like
something
it
with
again.
the board that's not on the agenda? If not, we are going to adjourn to our October 10th, 2024 regular scheduled meeting at 5:30 p.m. Thank you. Thank you.